and then we will get started. All right, guys, so if you can put on your cameras, I always like to see your faces instead of staring at black boxes. I always appreciate that. Hi, Lincoln. Hi, buddy. Happy Tuesday. Super excited to bring this call to you guys tonight. We are midway through the month, which means if you are a business building coach, which all of you aspire to be, you should be at Success Club by now. And if you're not, have a game plan of how you're going to achieve Success Club by the end of this week. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of the month and being stressed out on the last day because you need to help one more person or you're going to ruin your streak or whatever the case may be. So please don't let that slip through your fingers. I've watched people go from 0 to 5 in a day, so I know that's capable for you as well. But it does take work. It does take action. And as a reminder, if you want to build a business, that means you're doing the behaviors like inviting, connecting with people on a regular basis, and adding to your network and all of those things. Tonight, we are going to go over quite a few things. I actually asked Maddie to come on because I want her to talk to you guys about the shift that really got her to leadership this year. I've also asked a couple of the girls who were at our team retreat this year just to share 2 to 3 minutes of, their top takeaways and what they experienced. A couple things. Marco texted me today. Peppermint mocha slides are available. They're like $3. So if you're interested in promoting that and you want something that looks nice, all you need to do is go to honkdigital.com, download those, and you have them. I always prefer you do that instead of screenshotting somebody else's because just like us, he's a business. We want to make sure he's around to help us moving forward. The next thing is we had our customer launch of 30-day breakaway. I don't want you to be stressed out about that if you haven't got in front of it. I did share some examples in my personally sponsored working coach thread. If you need to scroll back up and check those out, copy them to your notes section so you have them. It's just a nice way to be able to connect with people. Maybe they're your current clients, maybe they're people who you want to bring on board, but I did give some examples of those. Next thing is there is quite a few of us who are doing the ultimate reset. I was kind of going back and forth between doing it now or waiting until the end of the year or the beginning of the year. But I decided I'm just going to do it. I've had all kinds of stuff going on with my gut this year. It seems like every other week I feel like crap, and I know just as well as you guys know, when we take control of our nutrition and we give ourselves a nice detox, especially this, you never feel better than ever. Like, it's incredible. If you've never done it, I challenge you to do it. It's like $150 if you've never done it. If you've done it before, it's like $139. It's very, very, very much worth the investment. I highly recommend it. I know Leah did it and she hasn't had many flare-ups since she did it. I know Hillary just did it and she lost like 12 pounds. She totally transformed. It's just incredible. So I would highly recommend doing that. And then if you didn't listen to the Diesel Nation call last night, I want to encourage you guys to go back and do that because Moira talked about 5 simple steps to do for the next 72 days this year. And then having a game plan of 5 non-negotiables on top of those 5 things for the rest of this year. And I want you guys to really think about what that is. Like, your comfort zone is going to keep you small, guys, and you guys are capable of so much. We are not called to stay small. So really lean in and think about what is going to take you to that next level. What is going to help you get the results that you want? What is going to help you take your business to the next level? Perfect. Yeah. Keep me posted, babe. And that's up to you. There's a few things that I wanted to just share with you guys. I have so many notes and takeaways from leadership. I'll probably do a Facebook Live just to share some of that with you guys. But one of the things that I really loved was sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And I think that's what we did this weekend at our team retreat. And it was just, for me, it was like a bucket filling moment. Like, I had such an amazing time. I didn't come home drained. I didn't come home exhausted. I came home with like such a full heart and so grateful that I get to build this business with all of you guys, and just so hopeful and excited for the years to come moving forward. One of the things that Jay Shetty said on one of my the keynotes last week was, when you're recruiting in this business, you look for what you want, and you hire slow and you fire fast. So what does that mean? You want to figure out who you want to work with, but you absolutely have to be very crystal clear on who you don't want to work with. So set very clear expectations of what you're looking for, and what that might be is a call to action post of who you're looking for. But so many different things that were just really, really incredible. This week was exactly what I needed, between leadership that Beachbody did for the 5 stars that qualified for it and up, and then going to our team leadership retreat. We got our pictures back today, which was crazy fast, and they're freaking stunning and amazing, and I'm obsessed. So stay tuned, because I'm sure we'll be flooding your guys' news feeds with those. But I'm gonna let Leah unmute herself and just kind of share 2 to 3 minutes on her takeaways from our retreat this weekend.
Okay, so I feel like I was going into this like completely not where I had originally thought that I was going to be going into it. I don't know how long ago it was, like 3 months ago or so, I hit 1 star and was like on the top of the world, and like school happened and my whole world just kind of fell apart. And I honestly hadn't done any of the business building activities for the past couple months. And so I was starting to go into the retreat feeling very unworthy, and like I didn't belong there, right? And that was just fear mindset that I had to tell myself, you know what, you are worthy, you did earn this. You're just in a spot. You're in a crappy season. But the 2 weeks leading up to it, we finally were actually getting to a spot with distance learning where I felt like I could actually like breathe again. And this was exactly what I needed. It was so incredible to just be able to immerse myself, feel like I was immersing myself back into the business where I felt so completely disconnected. And it was like, gave me that permission and to start working again. And the confidence within myself to say, hey, you know what? We all hit bumps in the road. We all fall down, but we all have to get back up at some point. The biggest takeaway that I had was during one of the leadership trainings that we did, where they said, prove you're responsible with the little you have, and then you will be trusted with more. And I know for me, like, I get so frustrated because in my challenge groups, it's so quiet. And sometimes I feel like I'm either doing it alone, or it's, you know, Heather and I, and I get so frustrated because I'm like, I'm 1 star. I should be like, I remember when I first started, and I was like, I thought 1 star was this like huge thing. And I got to this point and I'm like, what do I have? So for me, going back into it is going, okay, how can I take care of the people that I have? I have to pour more into them. And I think that there was some frustration that I was feeling where I was like, you know, my people aren't engaging. And so that allowed me to kind of pull back and say, well, if they're not engaging, I'm not engaging. And I can't do that. That's not how this business works. We have to pour into them, and then they'll pour into us. So that's my biggest takeaway, is just pouring back into my team, reconnecting with them. I know for me, I've been very disconnected with everybody because it just, my life is crazy. Like, if you saw my living room right now, it's like school vomited all over my living room. But that's the most important thing. And you know, Melissa, I'm just so grateful that you had this, because it came at the perfect time for me to re-engage, and it relit that fire back within me.
I love that. And I love that that is such a heavy responsibility, right? Like if you're trusted with the little, then you'll have a lot. And that's actually a Bible verse, which is so good. But I literally just had the best time this weekend with you guys, and it was so incredible and refreshing. So I'm excited for our next one next year. And I just want to remind you guys that Diesel Nation is still having one, which it doesn't look exactly like the one I had. Obviously, it'll be like way more people. But those of you guys who work to earn Diamond, whether you're on the call tonight or you listen to this replay, because I know tonight was kind of crazy for a lot of people, but you can earn your spot there. And I promise you, like, retreats are life-changing. You know, like they just show you what's possible, and they're more intimate, and it makes us feel almost more real, because I know sometimes, you know, I think about Danielle, she's in Vegas and she hasn't really met anyone, but she shows up on every scene call. She's literally so engaged in all of our threads. And I know that like a super weekend or a team retreat, something like that would be like powerful for her. So just remember that these live calls are critical. Okay. So I don't know if you can unmute yourself, Faye, in just 2 to 3 minutes. Share. I know you're driving, so no worries if not. Okay.
I'm gonna say that's a no, because as soon as I take my phone away, Lincoln's literally screaming. So
No worries. No worries. All good. Okay. So we're going to skip Bailey. Stephanie ended up having family pictures tonight. Jen can't get on. Something's up with her phone. So it's all good, because I am super pumped. I text Maddie today and I was like, I really want you to just talk to the team, because she texted me the other day and she didn't even have to tell me what the post was about. She literally just had a side-by-side picture and it brought tears to my eyes, because I literally love this girl. Like, I feel like I've been like her hype girl since day one, because I've always believed in her. Like, she has been like that person that just shows up and does the work. And even though she's 4 levels down in my organization, maybe even 5, we've just become super, super, super good friends. And I'm going to let her tell you guys about that picture, because I think it was a turning moment for her. She already was a hustler. She already had a very big vision, but I think a fire was set in her belly, like, okay, watch. And we've all sat back and watched, and we've all been in awe of this 20-year-old girl who started this business with no idea of what she was capable of. And I still say to this day, actually, Jen this weekend was like, Maddie's going to be a top 10 coach one day. And we're like, yep, she sure is, because she's just incredible. And if you don't know Maddie, she came into this business as a 20-year-old college student. She was working 3 jobs while going to school full time. So you guys know me. I love hustlers. I love busy people, because they get stuff done. They don't make excuses. They just take action. She's also like me. She's an Enneagram 3. And while she was in her senior year, she built this business. While she was playing volleyball, she built this business. While she had no idea of what she was really doing, she failed forward and built this business. She asked all the questions. She would literally message people and be like, I really want to speak on your team call because I want to develop myself. Can you add me into your team page? Like, that's what she would do to build relationships and connections. And I think it's hard sometimes when people see that, because it can be intimidating to see somebody who's so strong and so confident in who they are, when at the time she probably was like scared as heck, but doing it anyways, right? And now she is our team's 3rd elite coach, the youngest elite coach. She has built a 5-star team. She has a 2nd business center, which I shared with you guys. When you get those 2nd, 3rd business centers, that's where you're going to see massive income growth. She's a dog mom. She's a girlfriend. She takes all the trips and does all the things. She's got like the most infectious energy on her IG stories. I know some of the girls were talking about that too. They're like, how does she have so much energy? Well, she's just like in love with what she's doing, and it shows. So,
and I don't have kids.
Right.
Like, not having kids and doing that whole homeschooling thing, it probably helps.
Yeah, for sure.
You're literally making me like tear up and then like kind of have sweats. I don't know why. You're like making me nervous. I'm like, okay, Melissa. Thank you. Like, oh, so crazy. I honestly just like, I love you guys all to death. And I know most of you pretty closely. So this past year has just been insane. Last year, I just like acted like a 5-star the whole year. Like I had my elite points by July again. So in 2019, I had my elite points. I just was like assuming that on November 23rd, when 6-week qual had to be locked in, like my girls would just like come out of nowhere. Like they would just be there. We'd be 5-star. And I just always acted like that. And I think it benefited me in many ways, but it also like harmed me because I just was like super naive. I think I just never had expectations in this business. I just always thought that if I led from the front and was always full of energy, things would happen. And though that they have, I look at like Erin Hopkins and I'm like, crap, she's 4 years in and she's X mine, blah, 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 right? And so then that intimidates me. But I'm like, oh my God, I was 20 years old and I've done this in 3 years. So honestly, comparison's going to like screw you over. But last year in October, I got back from Spain and it was leadership weekend. So Melissa and all the Diesel Nation girls were over and it's literally across the street from my house. Like I can see it out my window. And I was like, oh my God, can't wait. So excited. I love human connection. I just want to hug everybody. And I still want to hug everybody even with COVID. But I'm just like, oh, humans, right? Like humans that I love. And so I drove over there and we had so much fun. We were dancing, playing speakers. And I was just like, this is so amazing. But then I also had this feeling of like imposter syndrome, you know, when you're like invited somewhere, but like you didn't earn it and everyone else did. And I wasn't like a registered guest. I just kind of like felt like I should be there, but I shouldn't be there. And then I like saw a corporate mentor and I was like, oh, this is weird. Should I not be here? And then everyone's like, dude, come to the workout. You're already here. I was staying in Melissa's room. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm down. So excited. We got up that morning, got dressed, ready to work out, and we got a text saying, like, Maddie shouldn't go. She doesn't earn it. She shouldn't be here. And, like, part of me, like, had to, like, swallow a pill. I was like, okay, true. Like, I guess I didn't earn it. Like, and again, I had that imposter feeling. But then I, like, put on the robe. I went outside on Belle's balcony. I took this photo, and I just started, like, journaling. And I just started jotting down so many notes. And, like, that is where the fire was lit for me to, like, not somewhat act like a 5-star diamond coach, but actually live it, breathe it, be it. Because it is such a mindset of like, I'm going to show up when it's freaking hard. I'm going to show up when it's not freaking easy and when there's so many different things happening. And that is the biggest difference maker between sitting at 1-star, sitting at 2-star, and sitting at 5-star is that you don't let those wrenches stop you. You don't let it derail you. And I think I was already doing all the things. I was already, you know, doing my tracker. I was always talking on my stories. I was doing the things that everyone was saying, but I never was teaching my team the same way because I wasn't recruiting coaches. I was recruiting challengers that I thought I could just like transform into a coach when they didn't want it. And I was dragging and dragging and dragging. And even though we came out of that event and then in the 2 weeks, me and Sarah linked arms together and we're like, we're hitting Premier. Like, I don't care if we're not going to end up 5-star. Like, I'm not sitting here letting this lady tell me that I don't deserve to be here because I worked my business 10 times freaking harder than she had. And I know that to be true. And I'm not saying any names, but I know that I worked my ass off. So for someone to say that frustrated the hell out of me. So I wasn't going to end as a team leader. I was going to end as Premier. So me and Sarah went out, we hit Premier, we held for 6 weeks. We ended the year at 2-star and it felt good. But I also like woke up on January 1, like, what if I had that same fire when it was July? What if I started that push before 2 weeks before qualification stopped and I actually hit elite? And so my January started off super strong. And so did my February and so did my March because I continued to run with the people that I was inspiring in November and December, which is this time right now, to run with me, to not sit back, but to get awesome results during the holidays so that they could launch their business in January when a brand new program came out with Bar Blend or launching 10 rounds. Like so many of them, like my 1-star diamond coach, Madison, she was a brand new coach in November. She did 21-day fix 3 times before the end of the year. And that girlfriend was hitting Success Club 40 like this past year. Like, she is rocking it because she got results first. And so often we hear that, like, you have to be fast, you have to hit diamond in 10 days, you have to go do these things, but it really doesn't even come down to that. It comes down to the passion and like love that you have for this. And I think when you get to live events, and like Mel was saying, like, getting to a retreat completely changes everything. And that event, just being there with other Diesel Nation coaches that have done so much, like, it totally lit the fire that I'm like, why am I not doing some of the things? Because to this day, and like this morning, I woke up and I was like, why am I half-assing some of the things in my business? Why am I just coasting? Why am I letting outside environmental things affect me? This past week, I had 6 people come into my inbox asking to switch coaches. 6. And you know why? It's because half the freaking coaches out there right now are sitting back, hiding in the corner because life's tough. But I'm not doing that. I'm showing the F up with my energy that I do all the time. And no, I'm not letting them just switch over to me. I'm saying, go talk to your coach. But I'm saying that people see me showing up. They see me doing my workouts every freaking day. They're not seeing me retreat because shit's hard, because they're not hitting Success Club enough, or that their coach is not getting enough people to tap on their pole and hit Success Club. I don't care. I'm at Success Club 12. You guys know that that's not a huge number for me. I'm usually higher up there, but I don't care about that number. It doesn't dictate my worth anymore. It's about the quality. It's about that out of those 12 people, I have 4 working coaches, and those 4 working coaches are hitting Success Club. Last month, I had a success starter and 2 girls hit Success Club in their first months. That is where my focus is now, instead of just sitting there being like, oh my God, I don't know, like, if this is going to be for me. I'm struggling in my business. Dive into the people that want to do this with you. It's going to light your fire. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, but the one last thing I was going to say is just the people that got me to 5-star now were the people that were watching me in November and December last year when I came out of leadership with fire under my ass. Because Lexa had been a coach for that entire year. She has been a coach since January of 2019, and she just went diamond for our 5-star. Melina had been watching me. She waited 6 months and signed up as a coach in January and was one of my diamonds for 5-star. Madison was a brand new coach in November, and she was one of the diamonds. And then it was Nick's account, and then it was Sarah, who is running with me for Premier. Those aren't brand new coaches. They had been people that were watching me and seeing if I was going to put in the work, was seeing if I was just going to settle back or if I was going to melt under the pressure of everything else going on. But when they saw me continue to show up, continue to get massive results in my business, but also in my physical journey, and then get laid off with COVID, and then get denied from PT school twice, and then continue to show up and work this business harder, they were like, okay, she's going to be here for the long haul. I believe her, and I'm doing it. And the last thing I just want to leave you with is just be the light in the world that just seems so, so dark right now. Be that light, because people need it. People need it. I wake up, I put my feet on the floor, and I say, how can I serve someone? If making someone happy is me shaking my ass, drinking Energize, and people are replying back to it, loving it, I'm going to continue to do it. My social media is for me, but it's also for my audience. It's for those people to find a place that they know that I'm going to serve them, and it's not going to be political. It's not going to be something that's not exciting for them. And there's going to be Sally who's going to do that crap. And then there's going to be you who's going to do it because you enjoy it, and that you're showing up and you're getting onto reels, even though it's uncomfortable and your first one's going to be awkward AF. That's how you're going to build your business right now. It's going on to going live and talking about what you're doing and how exciting it is that you get to have the best results during the holiday, and that the holiday is just a long weekend. Thanksgiving is just a long weekend. It's not the whole month of November. Christmas is just a long weekend. It's the 24th, 25th, 26th. It's not all of December. New Year's Eve is 1.5 days. It's New Year's Eve and then waking up halfway, and I know some of you guys don't drink, but hungover on New Year's Day on January 1, getting your life together and then starting again. It's not all month long. So on those rest of those months, hustle. Increase your conversations, increase the amount of people you're talking to, and it doesn't have to be an invite, just be the light. Ask them how they're doing for their holidays. Ask them what their plan is. Ask them what they're struggling with. just have genuine conversations, and it's going to take you so much farther than sitting back and being like the person in the corner that your people are like, where is my coach? Is she alive? But I don't know. I hope that was like not too all over the place.
No, it was perfect. And I think it's at the perfect time because right now, guys, you have a decision on what you do. And there's a reason why Maddie and I have hit the accolades that we have. And that even though I've had 16 people hit diamond and not everyone's here, I am still here. Rank is going to come and go. Your rank doesn't make you a leader either. You have to make a decision on how you want to show up and how you want to serve the world. If I made a decision that every time I heard no, or every time somebody decided to back away from this business, or every time somebody dropped rank, or every time somebody just completely ghosted me, like my family's life would look a whole lot different. I wouldn't have been able to go out and pour and invest financially into the retreat that we had. Like, it was incredible. And the girls are getting their pictures back and they're like, holy crap. And I didn't settle for a super cheap photographer because I wanted them to feel special. I want them to take these pictures and to move forward. And it's not all the financial thing, guys. It literally, you heard Lee at the beginning. She needed that retreat like she needed oxygen, right? She didn't know where she belonged because she felt like she had pulled away. And I'm praying that this is a gut check moment for her, that you can't pull away in those times. Like, we're all going through this. And right now I get to be a light and a voice for other people who are going through what I'm going through, because it sucks having 3 kids distance learning. But guess what? My workout gives me the motivation and the energy to keep up with it. It also keeps me in check because I don't drink anymore. So I absolutely need that stress reliever, right? And I'm helping other people find like calm in their storm, right? I get to do that for them. Just like Maddie gets to go out and encourage other people who either are new moms or that are around her age, or people who just need a solution, or college students who think that they just paid $100,000 for this, you know, this career that they're going to go into, but they have $100,000 in debt. She's providing a solution. And so you have to figure out what's important to you. Do not let the holidays be a reason that slows you down, because I promise you the work that you do right now, whether it be in this business or crushing 30-day breakaway, prepping for peppermint mocha launch, prepping for 9-week control freak, all of those things are going to play a role in what that looks like. Do the ultimate reset with us. If you feel like your nutrition's been out of control and you're maybe at a plateau and you're at a standstill and you just need something else, do it with us, right? Figure out what your plan is and how you can look at and say, you know what? I might not be where I want to be, but I'm making a decision every single day to show up and get to where I want to go. So that maybe next year I'm the guest speaker on this call telling my story of how I went from 1-star to 3-star, of how I made a decision to go from team builder to a premier coach, like whatever, fill in the blank for what you want. Myra on our team just shared today, and I shared it in the team page so you can scroll back and look, but she's working this business very part-time. She's doing this for herself, and along the way, she's helping inspire other people. She's made an extra $800 for her family. That doesn't sound like a lot, but you guys, that's paying groceries, that's taking care of gas, that's paying for extra things, right? Right now, you have a decision. Do you want to pay for Christmas in cash? What's your budget that you want? And then reverse engineers. Let's get on a phone call and figure out what that looks like. If you don't know what to invite, go back to that thread where I just shared like 5 different invites, tweak them, make them sound like you. If you don't know what to post, go back to all the things that I've shared. Go see the things that the successful coaches are posting. What are they talking about? What are they doing? If you haven't shared a transformation picture, guess what? You can share a transformation picture every single week, from week to week to week. That will keep you accountable too. So just make a decision and go out and do it. Stop making excuses about COVID. Stop making excuses about the time of the year. Stop making excuses that you can't get in touch with other people. Consistency is your superpower, and you just have to make a decision on what you want. And so like I said at the beginning of the call, sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So figure out what your end of year game plan is and just go out and tackle that. And if you feel like I don't know what to do, I'll remind you again, a closed mouth don't get fed, and you're on a team full of people who will pour into you and help you create that plan and go to where you want to go, but you actually have to do the work. It's not going to happen just because you pop on social media and scroll and like other people's stuff. You actually have to go out and put yourself out there and get vulnerable, do the personal development, do the workouts, get the results, stretch yourself, get uncomfortable, and I promise you things will start to change. So I love you guys. I'm going to keep this call right at 30 minutes, and let's just crush the hell out of the end of the year and just be known for this. 2020 may have started really crappy, but we didn't settle for anything. We went into 2021 with our head held high, with a bad A transformation, feeling our absolute best, serving as many people as possible, and like really happy. Not just Facebook filter, fake smiling it, like genuinely did the hard work, dug into the hard stuff, and made sure that my insides were just as good as the outside look, right? Like not this outside look, because I'm a hot mess right now. I just got ready for like 5 days straight. Don't expect anything for a few days, okay? But I love you guys.
Can I share something? Just as a reminder for those of you guys, as to know what a blessing this opportunity is, just on a completely basic level. Like, my world fell apart for 2 months trying to figure out how to do distance learning with an autistic child. If I didn't have the basics of a habit of exercise, knowing how to fuel my body, putting good things in my head with personal development, like I would have been a disaster, especially if I wasn't originally sober. Like, it would have been probably the worst thing. And I know sometimes we think, you know, oh, people are too busy and they don't want to add something in, but like, just being able to do those behaviors on a consistent basis, like, saved my life. So just remember that when you get scared to invite, think that there might be somebody out there that's like me, that is drowning, that you have the opportunity to give them something that they can start to see the light again.
Awesome. Yes, no, totally. It's so much more than fitness. It's so much more than financial. It literally is a community that will lift you up when you feel like you can't do it. So don't be selfish and hold other people's destinies trapped in your mouth by not sharing this opportunity with them, because you guys are obviously here because you love it and you're getting something from it. Now go share that light with other people, because the world needs that, especially right now. I don't want to be negative, but I fear we're about to head into some really even heavier months. These next 2 weeks are going to be hairy on social media. And people say all the time, like, I'm just so fed up with social media. Like, detox your timeline then, because guess what? I don't deal with it. I unfollow people. I get rid of the negativity. Think of it this way. Is your news feed feeding you, or is it swallowing you, right? So go feed it good things and take the things that are good. Like, and if you have to, get on, do your work, and get the heck off. I've done that. Like, you don't have to spend all day scrolling social media. Actually, please don't do that. That's a time waster. Like, go do the work and then get off. Go be productive. Organize your closet. Play with your kids. Take a walk. I don't care. Do something. But feel like a broken record. I have to eat dinner. I love you guys. Maddie, thanks for popping on. I'm always so freaking proud of you. Leah, thank you for sharing your heart. Love you, babe. All right, ladies, have the most incredible evening. And as always, if you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.